Acquiring digital skills is absolutely critical for people of all ages, because over the next few years we will find that every company is a digital company and almost every job is a digital job. So it doesn't matter whether you're in finance, in marketing, in admin, in education, in journalism, all these jobs will require significant digital skills. So whatever your ultimate career, learning those digital skills early is really important. And there are, of course, massive spin-off benefits in terms of being able to interact with technology outside your job, and also, very importantly, I think, learning critical thinking skills that come out of working with underlying technology. So we've made great strides over the last couple of years in establishing a new computing curriculum in schools, starting very early at Key Stage 1, and that's great. The big challenge now is empowering teachers to effectively deliver that curriculum, and that means three things. It means giving them the appropriate training in the underlying subject matter. More importantly, I think it means demystifying the curriculum and giving them confidence to actually teach that. It's not that it's terribly difficult to teach, but for many, many teachers, particularly in primary school, it's going to be very scary to start with, because there's all sorts of concepts here that they weren't taught themselves when they were younger. So demystification and confidence is really important. And the third thing is providing them with appropriate support, which may be an opportunity for industry to work more closely with education through mentoring and volunteering. I think there are several ways in which industry has an important part to play. Firstly, in terms of making the career paths more apparent to pupils and to teachers. So industry spending more time in schools actually explaining what jobs are available in their particular companies and industries, and how digital skills relate to those jobs is one important thing that industry can do. Another thing that industry can do is work more closely with, particularly with universities and further education establishments, and also with schools, to identify the specific skill set that is required. Talking about digital skills is a very, very broad subject, but many employers will have a common subset of those skills that they need, and that needs to be made more apparent to the universities and the further education colleges, such that they are producing graduates with the appropriate knowledge set. So part of this, I think, is awareness. SMEs aren't necessarily yet quite aware of how important these skills are going to be to their business over the next 5 to 10, 15 years' time. So I think an awareness campaign would be helpful. Obviously, funding support for apprenticeships is going to help, because teaching these digital skills isn't necessarily within the cost structure of an SME. So it's an investment that has to be made. So helping the SME to make that investment is going to be important. And also very clear signposting to what is an appropriate apprenticeship. So the right combination of classroom teaching on theory and actual application in the workplace. And I think technology providers may have a big role to play here. So an apprenticeship that is run by a technology provider with a combination of theory and very, very direct practical application to that technology is going to be very useful to the SME. The great thing about Code Club is that because it is outside the curriculum, there is more flexibility to be creative and less concern about absolutely quantifiable, measurable attainment goals. And kids engage with digital technology if it's fun. And you can make it fun in a Code Club outside the classroom very easily. The challenge for teachers, I think, is to ensure that when they teach the curriculum inside the classroom, they take that same creativity and fun element back into the classroom, because you don't have to make it dull as ditch water in the classroom. It can be creative, but it requires confidence on the part of the teachers to believe that by doing it that way, they are still delivering the curriculum. And my view is that by doing it that way, they will actually, in the long term, deliver far more value. So things have crept up on us as a nation, and we are now scrambling to catch up and ensure we have a suitably skilled workforce to deal with this very fast emerging digital economy. And I think the reason why we have perhaps slept-walked into this is that things change so fast. It is unbelievable how quickly technology has changed our lives. And the internet is, okay, it's 25 years old now, but most of us have only been using the internet for the last 10 or 15 years, and yet it's now totally ingrained into our day-to-day living. The same is true of mobile phones. So I think politicians should take this as a wake-up call that things are changing much more quickly and will continue to change much more quickly, and therefore having people in government who are closely involved in technology will actually help to keep a closer eye on things and take the appropriate policy measures in time.